We've not read the Mueller report, so it's sort of like reading the Cliff Notes version of Macbeth.
They invite us to believe that Donald Trump is an anti-corruption crusader.
You know what my big takeaway about this whole impeachment sham is? It's not that they've rushed it through Congress or even the ridiculousness of the charges. I mean, come on, abuse of power, how vague is that? And also obstruction of Congress, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And it's also it's not even their admission by many Democrats that the real reason for impeachment is because it's to stop Trump from being reelected. No, for me, the big takeaway, and this is surprising, might be surprising to you, is that Congressman Jamie Raskin learned to finally use a comb. Yeah, that was a big shock to me. I recently was watching the impeachment hearing just briefly because really they were just all talking points in there. But the big shock to me was that when I saw Jamie Raskin's hair, it was finally combed after all these years. And I was wondering what all of a sudden, he had uncombed, uncouth hair for years, and now suddenly he's combing it. I'm thinking what happened is maybe one of his staffers or a friend or somebody told him, he says, "Hey, Jamie, you know what? People might take you a little more seriously if you actually take a few seconds to comb your hair." So that's a new look of Jamie Raskin, where he's learned to use a comb. That was the big takeaway for me on this whole impeachment sham. And just give you a little more contrast of the Jamie Raskin before impeachment and Jamie Raskin during impeachment. Let's take a look at a few back and forth clips of Jamie Raskin before impeachment with the wild hair where he doesn't bother to use a comb, and the current Jamie Raskin during impeachment where finally he's combing it.
It was Rousseau who said that in a real democracy, where n is the number of people who live in the society, 1 over n is the amount of political power or sovereignty that each one of us should exercise. And that's expressed in the American constitutional experience with one person, one vote. Everybody has found that it was Russia that attacked our election in 2016, not Ukraine, and yet he wanted Zelensky to come forward to say it wasn't Vladimir Putin, it was Ukraine that had done it. And I also saw on the way in my friend Jeff Buttle, who is the president of the firefighters in Montgomery County. Harold, you were kind enough to reference my race, which was the most expensive congressional primary in U.S. history. I want to thank them especially for invoking the American Revolution, which not only overthrew a king, but created the world's first anti-monarchical constitution.
The big question now is, once this impeachment, and it's going to be dismissed very quickly in the Senate, once the impeachment is over and done with, will Jamie Raskin go back to not using a comb, or will he continue actually combing his hair? That to me is the big question, because we all know impeachment is going nowhere in the Senate. So the real big question of impeachment is, will Jamie Raskin continue to comb his hair? Of course, if the Democrats lose their majority next year in the House of Representatives, there's always that possibility that Jamie Raskin won't have to worry about combing his hair because it's all going to fall out. See you later.